Hi, I am live, although it said something went wrong. I hope not. Hey, Kate. Hey, Elizabeth. Welcome. Happy New Year. I may be clearing my throat a little bit or, something like that as I am still recuperating, but happy to be here. Elaine Marolakos, Edelson here with Astrology Mojo. Want you, and transformational astrology, want you to get your mojo back. Okay, so, well, I'm wondering of the people who are here, who's had a solar eclipse experience so far? Has anyone offered you an opportunity? How did your body react? Capricorn rising, not so well. What's new for everyone? Hey, it's Jennifer, Dean, Laura, and Leah. Say that fast 5 times. So, what's your solar eclipse in Capricorn energy been like so far? That's what I want to know. I'm hearing from across the board, friends and family, clients as well, that people are at their maximum capacity for work, for opportunity. Even my husband has had many opportunities to do some writing, looking at some potential clients. So he's been really busy. And then he got sick because I got sick. But he's hanging in there, trooper guy. And okay, so, oh yeah, please leave a comment. Let me know that you're here because I know a lot of you are watching. I see you. But you don't always comment. Just let me know you're here. How are you doing today? What's going on? It is Saturday, January 19th, 2019. And the double eclipse that we're having this month in January, first the Capricorn at 15 degrees and then the Leo at 0 degrees 52 minutes, is quite an interesting combination of fire sign, lunar eclipse, earth sign, solar eclipse. That can bring about a lot of weather changes or standards in industry as well. Not just what's going on with, your own lives, your health, your happiness, your wealth, and all that stuff. I'm going to pull some cards for you guys later. And hey, Shannon's here. Hi, Shannon. So I have my Tai Lung tea, and I will be sipping it often. Well, we went out of the country for a vacation, and my solar eclipse experience right on my rising sign, literally, said, yeah, no, you're not going to do that much, are you? And I kind of overdid it eating wise because I eat no more than 5 to 8 grams of sugar a day. That's maximum. So I had about 8,000 grams of sugar a day on vacation. And my body was like, no. And it brought down my immune system. And then I contracted this norovirus. But I'm still having a super good time because our daughter was here. She just left today. That's my Leo moon and Leo eclipse experience right on my moon to let go of a feminine energy. I'm going to combine the two and we're going to talk about that. Hey, oh, wait, you know what? If I put on my glasses, it's a whole new world. Hey, Cecilia's here. Elizabeth says, super insight and healing with the solar eclipse, allowing amazing healing in my body. That's amazing for you because I know that you are a Capricorn moon. And I did a reading for someone on the ship and that we were on our cruise ship. And she's also a Capricorn moon, having a really tough time physically, but healing. So my recommendation to people who are moving their energy to heal their body is to not look at it as a fight. You know what I did? I just laid down. I didn't give up. Typically, I work through it. I push through it. I keep working. I make compensations. I'll do less readings. I'll work on this instead. You know what? I said to myself, you're sick. Your body's telling you to just lie down. Why are you resisting? Why are you fighting? So I lay down and it was glorious. I binged watched a couple of shows. I read some books. I slept. I tried to watch the British baking show because I was going to make some stuff, but I got nauseous. So I said, no, wait. So, who else? Now Elizabeth's totally dealing with the money issue. Okay, well, that's something I'm going to be helping you with because I know you have scheduled a reading with me. Lisa Weber says, my baby's a Leo and I am a Leo moon, Aquarius sun. Well, all this Leo energy, even for if you don't have Leo in your chart, Leo in your signs, sun, rising, or moon, or a prominent position of a planet, like Saturn or something like that in Leo, you still have Leo in your chart. So everybody's going to feel it. How are we not affected by this? We are all affected. And let me give you some specs, actually. The Leo lunar eclipse is visible in North and South America. Parts of Europe, not so much the rest of the world. So it begins on January 20th, that's tomorrow, at 9:16 p.m. Pacific time. So you know how to view it carefully, right? So not to hurt your eyes and all that stuff. And then it happens 3 hours later on the East Coast and in Europe on January 21st, just after midnight. And so it being visible doesn't make it any stronger. That was asked to me once by someone in 5th grade. They said, if you can see something, does it make it stronger? And I said, what a great question, right? Sometimes we think it would work out that way. Vicky says her Leo is in the midheaven. So that's a big career thing, which we talked about in your reading, actually. So I'm a week behind, but I'm still doing eclipse specials. Dean's going to post a link for me, 1 hour eclipse special. You're going to get the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse because it lasts for months. And I'm also going to give you the overview of your year. So that's really powerful for only $247. So you want to take advantage of that. I only have about 4 spots left. Okay, so this Leo lunar eclipse that happens, it's happening now. It started several weeks ago. And it is at 0 degrees, 52 minutes of Leo. So if you have a chart and you know your chart, look at your chart and see where 0 degrees Leo is. And you'll get an idea within 8 degrees, 4 degrees on either side, of what this experience might hold for you and where it might show up in your life. Now, as I talked about a few weeks ago, the solar eclipse is more about a masculine presence or, excuse me, or about what you've been manifesting, and it brings opportunities. The solar eclipse, dealing with the sun, sheds light. Did I just make that happen? Wait a minute. Sheds light. No, that didn't work. Second time. Darn. Thought my wand would do it. On what you're creating. Now, sometimes you're not always aware of that. And if you look back 6 months or so to the last set of eclipses, you'll see what else you were working on, what else you were keeping at bay, and what else you were putting on the back burner that you didn't need to. So here comes an opportunity for you to move forward. The solar and lunar work together. The lunar is more feminine in energy. It's more emotional, especially in the sign of Leo. It's going to be more emotional for a lot of people. And it doesn't have to be melodramatic. That's, Jerry Springer, Judge Judy stuff. But it can be dramatic in the sense of you watch a show, you read a book, you write a show, you suddenly get ideas for, creation and how to enhance your life through education, entertainment, children's issues, or being a leader in a field that deals primarily with drama, the arts, children, entertainment, or women. So where can you apply that? If you are working with children, if you are creating a business, if you are a teacher, if you love to bake for the PTA, it doesn't have to be this lofty thing where you're winning an Academy Award. We're going to see a lot of Leo rising, Leo moon, actors, celebrities, politicians, Trump, have to deal with something and then have to let go of something. So that's going to be interesting as well. And we're all looking at our watches saying, isn't it about time we realize that we, the people, are the ones who have hired the politicians? They work for us. So, let's take charge and I'm not taking sides. I'm just saying, if we're not liking what we see, let's take charge. So Leo energy is about to let something go. Now, me personally, Leo moon, I just waved goodbye to our child who went back to college. No cry. But then I readjust, I clean the house, I vacuum, I do a Facebook Live, and I say, oh, okay, now what can I do? Well, let me get back to work, because now it's quieter in the house and I am less focused on caregiving, right? So what are we looking at, folks? What is it that you want to be doing with your life? The eclipses also bring up issues, since this is a lunar eclipse, feminine energy. So it can deal with a mom, a sister, a daughter, a good friend. You, whether you're a man or a woman, and your feminine side. Are you resisting something? Are you not feeling something? Are you not feeling well? So we want to look at all aspects of what's going on in your life, not just in your chart, which is a representation. Remember, folks, the planets don't make you do anything. We live in a cooperation with the cosmos. When the planets make a move, you feel it. When you make a move, the planets reflect that in the heavens. It's called a cooperation. So I'm going to pull a card for everyone to see what Laura says, a bride. So a bride is your major concern right now, and whether they are overly dramatic and have to have everything and calling you and texting you every 20 seconds, that calls for boundary setting, right, folks? No matter what's going on, if you have a needy person in your life, because I'm not saying every Leo that I've ever met is needy, but when their needs are prominent, they let you know. Me, having a Leo moon, used to deny my needs because I have a Capricorn rising. And then suddenly Dean would attest to this, when I was tired or thirsty, I would say, I'm so dramatic. I would hold it. And then I would explode. We went to, remember that time, Dean, we were, we lived in LA and we went to the farmer's market and I was thirsty and I wasn't taking care of my own needs. So I thought, I can wait. And it was hot and I was tired and I was thirsty. And by the time, I reach my limit, the 11th hour, I just start screaming, I'm so dehydrated, Dean just looked at me like, what is wrong with you? If you're thirsty, get something to drink. What is the problem? So you don't want to be denying yourself during this time frame. And again, it doesn't matter if you are a sun, rising, moon, have Saturn in Leo, have Jupiter in Leo, whatever you've got going on in your life. The energy right now that is dominant in the eclipses is setting structure, moving past denial. That's the Capricorn solar eclipse, setting a healthy structure, moving past denial, and starting to become more ambitious about your career. And your career can be a caregiver at home, with kids. Or your career might have to do with an actual, brick and mortar business, or moving your money somewhere that's, better for your future. Then the Leo lunar eclipse comes into play. And it's not about being waiting, and then becoming overly dramatic about something. Holding it, and then spewing, it's like being really nice at the office and your boss is yelling at you, or you're taking on extra responsibility, solar eclipse in Capricorn, and you come home and you just, your smiles at the office, you come home and you just you're cranky with your kids and your husband. And it's like, no, that's misplaced anger. And we don't want to do that. And if you have a need, it's a good thing to write it down. What is that need that you have right now? What is that dramatic flair that you're great at? Baking, writing, singing, dancing, painting, designing, helping women, children, helping people to heal as well. because Leo is a parent. Leo likes to parent. And you may become a parent. I have a cousin. We have a cousin, John, whose wife is due today, tomorrow, the next day, any day now. And this is his first child, and he's a Leo. So congratulations to all those babies being born during this lunar eclipse phase. All right, so I'm going to pull a card. Does anybody have a... Yes. When you see Astrology Mojo, that's actually Dean typing that. I'm so dehydrated. That was funny. We got into a really juicy argument at that point in our relationship, but it was good because I learned how to, express my needs more. That was 25 years ago or 20 years ago or something. I don't know. All right. So Leo lunar eclipse, focused on my little happy cards. Ooh, this one wants to come out big time. Reciprocity? No way. Leo reciprocity. Okay, let's talk about that. Reciprocity and the Leo energy. A lot of times you may find this to be true if you are a Leo rising, sun rising, well, not so much moon, but Leo sun or rising, that the only time you reach out to someone is when you have a need. But it doesn't seem like that because you think of other people, you care for other people, you're busy doing your own thing, and then you think, oh, I ran out of paper clips. Oh, I know who has them. Let me call them. Hey, haven't talked to you in 6 months, but do you have any paper clips? And so sometimes it becomes a pattern and a habit to only ever call people or reach out to people when it relates to your needs. Now, the Leo, and that may look like a selfish thing, but totally, I understand astrologically, the Leo energy shines very bright and it sheds light in every direction. And again, whether you are sun, rising, moon or not, the energy itself is a very vibrant energy. Very, is this redundant to say energetic energy? Because, energy is not always energetic. How are you feeling? Your biorhythms, the going up and down. In fact, I highly recommend that you find, I don't have my phone with me, but I have an app in my phone for biorhythms, and I can watch it. And it's a mathematical calculation based on the moment of your birth, and it moves throughout your life. And you can see the physical, emotional, and intellectual phases of your life that dip down when you're like really tired or they get to a peak. So it's a good time to plan things around biorhythms, just as it is around eclipses. Now, Stephanie says, my life lacks fair exchange. Okay, well, because everything in our lives is there because of us, you want to think about and ask yourself, why won't you allow fair exchange? That's the question. And it could be, because nobody ever gives back and I've tried it and it doesn't work. Well, deep down below that, there's got to be another reason. So keep digging during this eclipse. In fact, it would be really beneficial for everyone to do a meditation daily for the next 3 days, starting today. Meditate on what, and you can write about it first before you go into the meditation, but really think about what are at least one or two things that you have in your life that, behavioral speaking, not just, stuff, but what are a couple of things you have in your life, your behaviors or patterns that you'd like to let go of? Because you can fast track your intentions in a solar and lunar eclipse phase. This is what I talk about in my readings. And I'm specific on where you can go to do that and how you do it. So that if you follow my steps, if you get there and you do it, you will see that, oh my gosh, okay, you know what this lunar eclipse reminds me of? Excuse me, I have to cough. Bird Box. How many people are loving the memes of Bird Box? I've seen it twice already. Now, I've also seen The Quiet Place. Which would you, if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, which would you rather, not see or not make sounds? So, we have that debate going on in the house. But I said to my husband this morning, you know what? That one scene, that opening scene of Bird Box it's just so powerful. It sums up the lunar eclipse ideally. So here it is, folks. I'm going to do my impression of Sandra Bullock right now. Wait a minute. Of course, she doesn't have bangs right now, and I don't have false eyelashes, but we're going to make it work. Okay, hang on. This is going to be fun. Let's just pretend I'm Sandra Bullock in Bird Box. Okay. All right, we ready? This is the Leo lunar eclipse. Listen to me. I'm going to say this once. We are going on a trip now, and it's going to be rough. It's going to feel like it's going on for a long time, so it's going to be hard to stay alert, and it's going to be even harder to be quiet. But you have to do both. You have to listen and do every single thing I say, or we will not make it. Understand? Okay, thank you. Academy Award forthcoming. That is my Sandra Bullock in Bird Box. And that's what this eclipse is going to feel like for some people. It's going to feel like, I keep going. I keep doing. Now what's happening? Now what's happening? And there's more stuff. And I got to toughen up and I got to take care of the kids. And, I got to put the garbage on my back and haul it out because nobody else is going to do it. And you want to watch out for extremes. And you want to watch out for emotional explosions because that is something really, profound in a Leo lunar eclipse. Now, that's the downside. That's if you're not paying attention. But if you are paying attention, okay, this can be a time of, you might not sleep a lot this weekend, but any fire moon, full moon, or any fiery lunar thing, it kind of, you're like that. So you want to be really careful of what you're putting into your body and what is already in there emotionally. So go back to that exercise where I was talking about. Name two or three things that you don't need to be feeling anymore, that you don't need to be projecting anymore. What's your reality? What would you like your reality to be? That's what this lunar and solar eclipse combo can help you do, especially in a power sign of Capricorn and a dramatically explosive sign of Leo that can be so, it's like the sun coming up and it's like, I just had an aha. I meditated and I wrote down the two things that I do that I know I shouldn't be doing anymore. And it can be like I eat a lot of sugar when I'm feeling crappy. Our child said the other day, she wasn't feeling so good. And she said, no, I'm staying away from sugar for a day because I know how it makes me feel. And I thought, okay, my job is done. Right? I just banged the table. I shouldn't do that. All right. It's like, and then my daughter telling me on our vacation, are you sure you want that second piece of cake? Because, you might not sleep tonight. I did my job. So reciprocity. Now, a lot of people think I give to you, you give back to me. And if you don't give back to me, then I'm going to hold a grudge. And I'm going to keep giving to you until you give back to me because I want proof or I want an apology. All right. That is an encapsulated negative kind of Leo-esque energy. Not always. Because Leo can be so kind and generous that they don't ask for help. They don't know how to ask because they don't want attention on themselves. And then other Leos, need the attention because they can only measure their growth and their awareness by what other people are doing. By other, it's like they shine a light on you so that they can you can reflect back to them who they are, right? So it's like, enough about me. What do you think about my new dress? And it's not a good or bad thing. We all have that potential, and we all do that. You don't have to be a Leo to be doing that. But the reciprocity is not I give to you, you give back to me. Reciprocity is you give, not at the sake of yourself, Capricorn solar eclipse, not at the sake of yourself. You give because it's in your heart, Leo moon, Leo lunar eclipse, to give. This is what you want to do. This is what you choose to do, not because of what you're going to get back, not because of obligation, not because you're supposed to, not because they told you to. No, we're moving away from these restrictions that set us up for defensive behavior, resentment, exhaustion, right? Excuse me. Got a cough. All right. So, with reciprocity, the energy is when you give from choice, from compassion, you get back, but not always from expected sources. And that's the magic. That's the magic that we wield with our wands. And we don't even know it half the time. So, Shannon's feeling it already. Oh, Jennifer says she likes my impersonation. Thank you. I will not be impersonating Emily Blunt in The Quiet Place, however. All right. So now I want to hear from you folks. What is the one thing in your behavior that you know that you have that you are willing to release right now? The one thing that is going to make room for the opportunity to come because you're already building it with the Capricorn solar eclipse. What's the one behavior? And I'll tell you, for me, it's putting other people first. And when I put other people first, sometimes it's convenient because then I don't have to work on the things that I need to be working on. So it's a kind of a twofold thing. I do it because I love doing it. And I'd never resent them, ever. But then at the end of it, I think, I still haven't finished that class that I was writing. Oops. And I did that on purpose. Or I still haven't finished my series of books that I've been writing. But why? Why do I do that? Well, I do it because if I do my all out and I give my all out, no one would ever hear from me. I would be working so hard, so much, so long, I would lose that connection. So I'm looking for balance in my life. So it's great that my daughter was home for a little while and now she's gone. Now I'm going to turn around and focus on me and do what I need to do for me. So I'm letting go of service at the sake of myself. That is a strictly Capricorn energy at first, and then all the other signs, astrological signs, fall in line. Everybody does it. Service at the sake of yourself is called denial after a week, right? We're done with that. We want to be done with denial. And we want to be done with dramatic expectations. Well, I gave to them. They should give back to me. Or when you give, you have this hope like a Victorian, movie. Like, I gave from my heart. And then they don't give back. That's all right. I'll wallow in despair and watch the moon set over the water. It's like, no. We don't have victims. We don't abide victims. You are not a victim. And we can have control over our actions, not over theirs, just our actions. So tell me, what are you willing to let go of? Okay, Stephanie says, resenting others for taking advantage and letting go of how others make me feel. Okay. Yeah, you want to let go of that resentment. And other people will do what they do. You feel how you feel. They're not the ones making you feel a certain way. I know. We don't want to hear that. I know. You're sensitive, right? You're sensitive. And it's because we have expectations, and expectations will always equal disappointments in the long run. Always. I'm talking healthy expectations. I don't expect my husband to come in here and bang me on the head with a pot. My healthy expectation is that if I have a need, my husband, and I say to my husband, listen, I need you to help. I need you to listen. I need you to pick up the thing. I need you to do whatever. And my husband will communicate with me and tell me, yeah, I can, or I can't. And here's how we can work that out. So I have healthy expectations, and I want you to have them too. Who else is ready to let go of something that they don't need any longer? And I'm talking an emotional behavior, a pattern. I'm going to pull another card. How's everybody doing? I'm so glad everyone is here, and I'm sure there's many others that have not told me. Okay, Elizabeth said, setting myself up to feel disrespected regarding money. Okay, well, we're going to talk about that in your session. Definitely. But here, I can tell you this. With this particular solar eclipse, in Capricorn on your moon, the moon, folks, your moon, anybody's moon, deals with flow. And the number one flow, emotions, and secondary flow, money. So how's your cash flow? Do you allow flow? Do you allow flow into your life? This lunar eclipse in Leo is going to help you release, possibly dramatically, a thing that you no longer need. And it can be through dance. I just found this woman online. Oh, what's it called? She does like dance exercise, and it's boombox Zumba. I don't know what it's called. Anyway, I love the music. I love her attitude. I watch the video and I go, I'm going to order this for myself. This is really cool. You know, I already do Beachbody, and I'm kind of tapped out on the muscle people, which I am not. And they're great exercises. It's a fantastic group of videos. But now I just want to work out with music. I just want good music. And so I found this thing and I thought, that's my Leo foray. That's my Leo moon foray eclipse gift. I was told by an astrologer way back when I first started studying astrology, who actually is here in Sedona. And she said, every eclipse will leave a gift. Every eclipse will leave a gift. And so my gift was finding this woman who does this dance video so I can go dancing and get back into exercising again, which I stopped for 2 weeks, and now 3 because I was sick. But for you, Elizabeth, I think it's really important that you look at how to get back into something or how to set the stage for something. Have you ever respected money itself? Have you ever respected your relationship to money? Have you ever respected what you do for money? And these are the questions to ask, and that we will talk about more in your session. So I'm going to pull a card right now for everyone regarding the flow of this lunar eclipse. The flow of this lunar eclipse for everyone on the call. Oh, this one wants to come out. Ah, that's a good card. Authenticity. Authenticity? Do tell. Are you authentic? Do you say one thing and do another? Are you someone who offers but then overcommits? That's not authentic. Again, that is service at the sake of yourself. That's denial. Are you someone who, when attempting to be authentic, you don't know how to express it? It's like minimizing yourself. You know you're powerful in something, yet you walk into a group and they're not so powerful, or they don't seem so powerful, or they've not, harnessed their power. And so you minimize yourself so that they don't feel bad. I totally get that. So if this is something that you do, you want to be really careful of being authentic with yourself. You know, you could have all this knowledge and wisdom and walk into a group and they're just, who they are, and they don't have a lot of knowledge or wisdom, but they're kind people. And you can be just as kind without expressing answers or knowing everything or then judging them because of it. So you can hold back but not minimize yourself. There is a fine line between that. And getting to know other people through authenticity is asking about them. That's something that is really helpful to balance during this Leo lunar eclipse. When the Leo energy sometimes is, how am I doing? What are my needs? It's to turn it around and ask someone else, hey, how are you doing? What do you need? And that helps to balance and to create more authenticity in your world. So we can visualize that. Does that make sense? Is that making sense to people? So Jennifer says, Laura says, I got my eclipse gift yesterday after meditating on it. When you're open to receiving it, comes easily. Yeah. If you allow it to come. And if you can recognize it, sometimes we're looking over there because we have an expectation that it's going to be from that person or it's going to look a certain way. And then here comes the gift on this side, right? Here comes the gift over here, but we're looking over there going, well, when's that person coming with my gift? And we don't see this thing. We don't see it as a gift. Excuse me. So Jennifer says, I recognize it would serve me to let go of head casing about things I cannot change overnight. Yeah, it's going to take time to stop head casing, but what you can do in the meantime, well, you know what I would say, Jennifer, that all those things you put in the top paragraph creates self-minimization, because you're not able to do those other things. You equals to, you minimize yourself because of it. So if you just lighten up on yourself a little bit more, and I'm a mom. I used to obsess, and your child is very young. So I used to obsess all the time, to the point of, what can I do? How can I, I will take it on just so that I have care and control of my child, is what I used to think when my child was 3. So I totally get that. And it's hard when you're working full time, and you're commanded to put your attention elsewhere. You can't always, be in 2 places at once. But that's why you have an amazing husband and caregiver who is doing that part for you. And yet if roles were reversed, you would feel bad about not working. So you want to watch the extremes and the flip-flops about that. Yeah, it will take time. Sometimes we are like clay. We're very malleable, and we have issues and we have problems. And it's really important to not negate the problem, recognize that the issue exists, and say, especially during this eclipse, say, no, it's fine. I'll deal with it. I'll get over it. I'll always do it. I'll just work at it. I'll keep doing it. It's okay. But acknowledge the fact that I'm kind of tired. I'm a little overwhelmed. I wish I had help. I think I'll allow help. I think I'll stop trying to do everything all the time. I'm looking at all these people that have alerted me to their questions and issues. And you are all power people. You're all power women. And the power that you contain is, I will take charge. I'll take the lead. It's okay not to sometimes, and just acknowledge that, I'm taking a day off. This is going to be rough. It doesn't have to be that rough, though. Let me just tell Sandra. It doesn't have to be that rough. And you can give the kids a name, for goodness sake. Okay. And Leah says, for me, it's fear and doubt, worrying about what others think and serving for the sake of others' approval. Yeah. And you have given so much to your environment, to your family, to people in your life, that it's not always comfortable getting it back. That's the allowing part. And when you allow things to come your way, you realize, even when I'm sick and my child is offering, can I do something? I didn't overdo anything. I wasn't like trooper, stubborn ox woman. But I thought, it's making me feel good to stand up and take out the garbage. So I appreciate the help. Thank you. And then when I did need something, I would ask her. So I am cognizant of allowing more in my life. And I pause now so that I can literally make space. This is the meditation magic. I make space for opportunity to come to me. But I have no parameters on who's supposed to give it to me or when it's supposed to come. And if you can imagine that there are streams of choice or opportunities right in front of you, and all you have to do is create a mental bridge to that one thing. What would you like to have? What's reasonable in your reality right now that you would like to have? Just imagine all the different, say there's 8 different outcomes for your potential issue or situation. And one is, okay, I got sick. One is I heal very quickly. And one potential outcome is I heal, but then I work but then I get sick and stay sick longer. Okay. Then there's a third outcome, and that outcome is I let people help me to heal. Oh, and so you see, if you can look at different potential outcomes for your issue right now, let's just say, Leah, let's just say worrying about what others think about you. So you can say, okay, right now I worry about what others think about me. And of course you have envisioned in your mind who the others are. And so what if they didn't worry? What if you didn't worry? What would it look like? What if you worried 50% of the time? What would that look like? What if they worried about you? What would that look like? So picture different outcomes to your issue, and then pick the one that resonates the most truth, as in, I no longer worry because I am secure in who I am. I no longer have doubt because I am doing the best that I can for the sake of myself and others, so that there's more flow. You see, this lunar eclipse in Leo, wait a minute, you have a Leo moon, I believe, right? So you're going to feel this one the most. And we'll be talking in the future, I know. So what I think is important for everyone to recognize during this particular, Laura says, what, as the fly said, help me, this helps me get through those times. In the original science fiction movie, The Fly, help me. And he's this big on a bench and two huge people are talking, help me. Yeah, you can be helped. Christine says, my Aries sun Kyle will always remain my weak spot. And I don't know exactly what that means, but if you can set healthy boundaries, if that's what you mean, you can. And if you don't need to, then, that's your sun. And you want to have a weak spot for your sun. That's cool. I'm not sure exactly, though, what the issue is. So Leah, getting back to, and everyone listening here, let me know who else is here. Come say hi to me, because I'm going to take the rest of the couple of days off to do readings to heal myself. Like this afternoon, I'm just going to watch a movie. And so it doesn't have to be rough, like Sandra said. But if you do listen to me, it will be easier. And you can make all the noise you want. So if you are able to take this moment, let's make the next 2 months one long moment. What are the things you would like to let go of and make space so that you can attract and bring to you, or to develop from the inside out to present to the world? What are these things that you would like to do? Would you like to help yourself be more elevated financially, or perhaps with career, or to get closer to family, or to find a more secure spiritual connection, or to develop talents that you have, yet you haven't used or used enough of? And what's the ultimate fear, really? Because that's what stops us. What is the ultimate BS you tell yourself around the situation? And that's what it is. It's bobbledy boop. It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter. Because if you were taken off the planet today, your first thought would be, oh no, I forgot to be me. That's the thought. That would be, what? Why did it take 20 years for me to even open my mouth and express myself? Well, sometimes it's a pattern, right? It's all the neurons that I talk about in your brain. They are one community based on electrical impulses that come out of one neuron that has the same information. It's the information you give it. What information would you like to give the new neurons? Give birth to some new neurons in this eclipse phase. And then book your 60-minute session with me. And I guarantee I will help you past the biggest sticking point of your life so that you can move your energy and start amassing wealth, health, passion, purpose. Let's go there. Dean, let's put that link in one more time. Hey, Sage. Hi, Jen. Hi, Tina. And I'm going to have to bring this to a close because I have a wicked cough that wants to come out of me right now. And so I'm going to set my boundary. You see, in any other time, I would have kept going. I remember once having a reading with someone in LA, and she had laryngitis. And she didn't cancel the session because she needed the cash. And I thought, and she was a Taurus, and I thought, oh, this could be me. She's trying to talk through her laryngitis to give me a session, and I was in pain trying to fill out her sentences for her. I was like, no, if I ever get sick, I'm not going to do that. So before I get to that point, now, this has been exciting for me, and I was looking forward to this for a long time. Since I talked about the solar eclipse, I wanted to talk about the lunar eclipse. And we're coming up on a Mercury in retrograde in March. And that's going to be the next couple of conversations that we will have. And I'll be back in about 5-6 days or so. I'm going to rest up. But at the same time, I've got readings booked, and I want to help people through this eclipse phase and to set up the next thing. Because what you fast track in this eclipse, you literally open new, I want to call them spiritual doors, but they're not. They're pathways. They're neurological pathways that suddenly they feel like, oh, what just happened? That was weird. Or you know what people will say to me in every single reading? They will say, oh, it's funny that you say that. You know, I'll tell them what I see, and they'll say, that's funny that you say that. And then every time they tell me that, it's validation that they've just opened up a pathway. I've seen their truth. I've articulated it, and then they say, well, that's kind of funny because this just happened. And I say, well, if I can see that and I don't know you, how about you follow these 3 steps and we could take you to the next place and the next place and the next place. And where would you like to go with that? And then, you know, sky's no limit. There is no limit. And that's where I'd like to take you. So remember, during this lunar eclipse phase, for some people, it will feel very alert, alive, awake, melodramatic. We hope not. Dramatic, yes. So be creative. If you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, don't fight it. This is not about fighting things. Remember, what you resist persists. So if you're up at 3 in the next couple of days and just kind of flow with it. This is all about flow. What is your flow? It's going to bring up your patterns. It's going to bring up your disappointments, your resentments. You know, that's the part of the trip that's going to be rough. As I talked about earlier, doing my impersonation of Sandra Bullock in Bird Box. You know, you don't want to have to relive it because that's what the neurons do. Those neurons that you create in your head and you say, oh, I gave to her. She didn't give back to me. Well, you know, and then that energy just goes round and round and round. And then you give birth to a baby neuron who has the same energy. And then there's a whole vast array of, you know, chanting Greek chorus neurons in your head going, see, I told you I'd never get back. We don't want to go there. We are so much bigger than that. We are so much more powerful than that. Oh, Leo, you're welcome, sweetie. I'm so glad you feel better. Find the outcome you'd like to choose and then walk toward it. Create the bridge so it also comes to you and meets you halfway. You have this power. You do. You do. Oh, wait. Expecto Patronum. You do. All right. I will be back in 5-6 days or so. And we'll be talking more about how you can step into that suit called me, not me, you, and access that power and create those moments that equal your future and the power that you are and the love that you are. Remember your pure conscious love, folks. What do you want to do with it? Anything you choose. Okay. That's it for me right now. You're welcome. Thank you. I'm resting. Oh, what was that? That was like a big starburst or something. That was cool. Thank you, folks. I will see you again in a few days. Have a really exciting, not too much sugar, creative bursts of lunar eclipse. Write down those 2 to 3 things you want to let go of, meditate on them, and see them fading away. And as you make space, the new things will come. Envision what the new things are. Let yourself have these things. It's okay. You deserve it. Transformational astrology. That's where it's at. All right. See you soon. Be well.